Alright guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus.
Happy Tuesday, fam. It's not quite hump day yet, but we're getting there.
Getting there. Happy Tuesday, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Hijack. This is episode 190. Before we get started, if you guys want to get some official Media Hijack t-shirts, you can head over to themediahijack.com, grab you some official t-shirts. Also, if you guys want to catch the replay for this live Twitch video, we're here every Tuesday or Saturday. You can catch the replay on YouTube. And then, audio listeners, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Give us that 5-star frog splash. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get started. All right, so you ever heard of the man-made doorway to heaven? I mean, the hell.
I think I have. I think I've heard of this place. I'm pretty sure I have.
I naturally said heaven, but that's weird. But it's actually the man-made doorway to hell. And this place is actually in Turkmenistan, in Darvaza. This is actually like a real location. It's just nicknamed doorway to hell. But it's not actually, it's a doorway to hell. Because if that did exist, like, wouldn't everybody be jumping in? Out of curiosity, right? Like, hey, doorway to hell.
Jumping into hell?
Yeah, let's go there. Because a lot of YouTubers now, when they find a place is haunted, they're like, let's travel there and let's bring all our equipment and find out.
Suicide forest. Let's go.
Suicide for exactly. All right, so the Darvaza Gas Crater, often called the doorway to hell, is a crater in Turkmenistan and has been continuously burning since the 1970s. So this big ass hole out in the middle of the desert, right? It was created by the Soviets after they were drilling a hole, and then they accidentally tapped into like a natural gas cavern. So the story is that there's so much gas coming out, and for them to keep the methane from spreading, they just lit it on fire. So it's a big ass hole in the middle of the desert, right? That's still burning till this day, like decades later.
Damn, what? So all that methane is just burning in the ground.
Yeah, and they're like, when they first set it on fire, right? They're like, all right, we're just gonna set it on fire, let the methane burn out. It's gonna take a couple weeks. Fast forward to 2024, still burning.
So when did they say when they discovered the hole? What year?
I think that's the real story, because they say if you actually go to the place, the locals said that they found it in like the 1960s.
Okay, so
and then they lit it on fire like in the 70s, from what the locals were saying.
That's just been running like 50 years strong.
Yeah, it's still burning, like and it became like a damn, I guess, kind of like a tourist place, kind of.
I'm scared to go there, man. I was scared that shit will blow up.
Yeah, right. Like, it's just waiting for that big pocket of gas, like, boom, and the whole shit just explodes.
Boom. Done.
Yeah, so that's wild, right? Like, I heard about this a long time ago too. I just didn't know it had that nickname, like doorway to hell.
Yeah, I heard of it. First, when you showed me about man-made doorway to hell thing, I was thinking about that Nazi castle up in I think it's in Sweden or Poland or one of them motherfucking places. They like that castle that the Nazis had. They had like rituals going on in there, and they had like a oh shit. Oh damn. They tried to take us down.
Your video went out. But that was my fault. God damn. I clicked one thing. Okay. God damn. That's how it works.
The man's trying to shut me down.
That's how it works. Jesus.
Yeah. I was like, when he first mentioned the whole the man-made hellhole thing, a doorway to hell, I thought you were gonna talk about the castle with the Nazis had in like Sweden or Poland or whatever. Yeah. That they had commandeered like a castle, I think, from like some king or whatever, or they just took up a castle that was just out there in the mountains, and I guess supposedly there's like a hole at the very bottom of the castle, like underneath, like all like at the basement and everything. There's like a ritual room they have in there and shit, but also at the very bottom is like supposed like a a whole way, like just like a big ass hole that's supposed to lead to hell. Like I guess they was trying to conjure up demons and shit because Nazis were into that whole occult stuff too, like and whatnot. So that's what I thought you was talking about at first. I was like, oh, like that. And I looked at the picture of it. I was like, oh, this is the bomb. It's a big ass bomb. That's all it is.
Yeah, I kind of heard about that Nazi one too. Damn, we should have got that story.
I think we talked about it before, but we can do it. I said we run it again because I think we mentioned it before, but we never had a whole episode about it.
I'm trying to look it up real quick.
Forget the name of I just type it like Nazi castle. It's big as shit too, man. And they even they show like pictures on Google of the interior. Looks just like a damn occult. Like everything, the whole aesthetic is like, oh, this is like a cult shit. They was really into this.
Oh,
they're trying to conjure up something.
The Huxa Castle, located in Czechia.
It's like some kind of like
it's built in the 13th century. Built in the 13th century, this castle was constructed over a large hole in the ground that local folklore claim was a gateway to hell, from which demonic creatures would emerge to terrorize the villagers. The seal was supposedly a gateway chapel that was placed directly over the hole. So during World War II, the Nazis, they occupied that castle and allegedly attracted by its dark reputation and conducted various occult experiments there, hoping to harness supernatural powers. That makes a lot of sense.
Dude, because like that's why like when Nazis like there's a show I used to watch called it wasn't called Nazi Hunter. It's called Nazi Occult. It used to come on History Channel back in the day. But it was a series about how like behind the scenes Nazis was running around trying to collect like ancient artifacts like the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's why they were trying to get into Egypt. They was going everywhere trying to like conjure up like supernatural beings to work in their bidding, like genie lamps and stuff. They was looking for all types of shit.
Yeah, they're looking at everything like in paranormal because they knew it was real. So they had teams like scouring on every single country to find all the weird shit, and they said bring all that shit back.
It's like, yeah, we got to use the concentration camp as a cover. We actually really looking for
the
artifacts.
Looking for the Spear of Destiny. Bob says like the Dracula Castle.
Oh yeah, what's the name? Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. It's another one.
Yeah, there's actually another. Have you ever heard of Pluto's Gate?
No, what's that?
It's known to be like an ancient portal. So like a Pluto Gate is an ancient site in Hierapolis, Turkey, believed to be a doorway to underworld. And you know the Greek god Hades, it was dedicated to him, you know, the ruler of the underworld. And this place in Turkey, right, a long time ago, like people, like priests and stuff, they would do sacrifices. Like they would sacrifice like goats and stuff and animals. They would put them like near like this hole, and then they would like instantly die. Oh, but the priest would stay like far away from the hole because, you know, like the story is like it would emit gas, you know. So I would believe like this is like toxic gas and stuff.
Right.
So like, yeah, I was like, okay, like your base, it's basically a hole emitting like carbon monoxide. Basically, that's what they found out, and that's why if you get near the hole, of course, stuff is gonna die.
Breathing all that shit.
But they're saying it's like a gateway to hell because everything that gets near it dies and stuff. And then they actually rediscovered this hole in 2013, and that was the whole story like behind that hole. And it's like a whole city like in Turkey, but it's like an abandoned city. And just this one area had that gateway to hell and stuff. But it's basically like emitting carbon monoxide the whole time.
Damn, man. All these damn holes.
And now it's like a popular site. And then people go there, tourists and stuff, take pictures. Hey, I'm at the gateway of hell, Pluto's Gate.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got another one. There's another gate. Because I was looking at all the gateways of hell and shit.
There's a bunch, man.
There's one in New Orleans, right? It's called the Gate of Guinea. You ever heard of this?
Gate of who?
Of Guinea. Guinee.
Guiee. Nah.
No, Guinee. Well,
oh no.
It's a voodoo folklore in New Orleans, and it's a series of 7 gates. And then they said like to pass through like to these gates, you got to do like certain rituals. And then once you get past all these 7 gates, you basically reach the underworld.
Yeah. Who would want to go? Shit.
Well,
Adventurers? Like Nathan Drake?
Well, if you're like into like the spiritual stuff and the dark side of what science can't explain, I think a story like that would catch any of them, like their curiosity to like, hey, I want to know if it's true. But the thing about like this gateway like to the underworld in New Orleans, they don't actually tell you where all the gates are. It's like you just have to know by word of mouth, or like you have to be on the inside to know about these stories. Like you can't just find it on the internet.
All right. Talk to the locals and the elders of the area. They'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, because it's all scattered out through the whole place. And then you have to do rituals to open these gates. I was like, sounds like a damn video game right now.
Right. What you got to do, 7?
Yeah, 7 of them.
Shit. Like kill your oldest sibling. You're like, what?
That was like the first step of shit.
Yeah.
Now kill your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do all this wild shit.
I don't know. I didn't even know Hell Gates was even a thing until like the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They had like they call it the Hellmouth in the show though, and it was underneath the high school. Because like for years there was like, man, why do all these monsters keep popping up in the town? Oh shit, our school is built on top of a gateway to hell. It
makes sense.
Oh shit, we are sitting on top of the Hellmouth.
We're sitting on top of a damn hole where demons come out.
Big ass hole.
Yeah, speaking of like holes where demons come out, like there's rumor that CERN opened up a portal to where demons were coming out.
Oh man, this is like Doom.
Yeah, like they said, supposedly it said a scientist, he said that, hey, I think we opened up something that we can't control now, and it's basically like a gateway to another realm, and things are coming out of this hole.
Man, like, this is like
excuse
Doom.
me, scientists? You guys did what?
I think that happened in the game Doom. They opened up a portal, and the portal led to Mars, and then they come to find out, I was like, oh shit, there's demons on Mars, and then that's how Doom popped off. I think that's how. I think they opened up a portal somewhere. I think that's how it was, and man, it's like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, baby. Y'all gotta be careful with this shit.
Imagine you're like you're labeled as a demon, but you're just an ugly creature, just trying to find peace. But like,
Right.
you're like, no, you're a demon. Like, man, that's what you guys labeled me.
Like,
But I'm actually like
this-
a good person, or whatever you are.
Yeah, I know demons bad, just like all humans are bad.
It's like, it's just my job to kill you. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, they just
Tell me what to do.
I woke up one day and they said, hey, do this, attack these people, do that. I'm like, okay, cool, that's my job.
I'm just trying to do my job.
And then we're labeling them like demons, like, oh shit, they're bad. They're like, bad? What is that? I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
What does bad mean?
Meanwhile, they
You gotta
turn someone's
tell
head. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah.
Man. I wonder if they got any damn demon holes out here in Utah. I would expect some. They got a lot of mines out here, dude. They got, oh man. Talked to somebody the other day. They're like, man, they got so many mines out here. They had like mines. Like they were talking about like this. There's a mine they got out here that got like it was like a reservoir underneath of it, and the whole entire mine just like collapsed into the water.
What?
And now the mine that had all this equipment and supplies and shit, they can't even get to it. It's like, oh, I guess it's lost to the water because this ravine just swallowed up the entire mine. Like this place is kind of creepy.
You think it got swallowed like on purpose because something was there that didn't like it or something?
And nature took that shit back.
Oh yeah, or nature.
That mines are like you're digging resources, man. You definitely hurting the earth doing that shit.
Yeah, you're taking the legs out.
Right, but yeah, because it's like a reservoir. Because they got like a lot of reservoirs out here. A lot of like a whole lot of mines, man. If you ever trying to murk somebody, dump their body into an abandoned mine shaft. They will not go looking for it. I promise you.
Damn.
It is that serious. It's that dangerous.
Giving people ideas.
Right. But there's a story I saw. I can't remember what state it was, but it had to be on this region or whatever. This guy, this is crazy as hell. He killed his wife, and he killed he killed his wife, and then like and they never found her. So it was kind of like, oh, maybe she's missing. But after like a year or so, there's like, okay, she's declared dead because they found evidence that her body was dumped into like a mine shaft somewhere out here in this region. I can't remember if it was like Arizona or Utah, but somewhere out here. Maybe in Colorado, who knows? But he dumped them in a mine shaft, and she was never found. And the cops were like, well, we're not gonna go in there because we're gonna die. So we're gonna just like fill this hole up with cement, make sure don't nobody try to go in there or whatever. But yeah, her body's in there. If her body's in there, her body's in there. But then the guy after he killed his wife, he went home, beat the shit out of his nanny that was like watching his kids, and then blew up his whole house and killed him and his 3 kids. No, he stabbed all 3 of his kids and then blew up his house. It was crazy.
Wait, was the nanny alive?
The nanny lived. She was like, they actually got like a phone call conversation where she was calling 911. Like, my God, like I don't know. He decided to fight me, threw me out the house. I hear the kid screaming, but he was like stabbing all 3 of his boys up, stabbed them up, and then blew up the whole fucking house. He like pulled like a gas. He made like a gas leak in the house and then blew that shit up.
Shit, and he died too.
Crazy, huh?
The guy died too, right?
Yeah, everybody got killed except for the nanny.
Damn, that's
wow,
dark.
man. And to this day, they don't know why he did what he did. It's like what the.
I think there's something just ticked off like in his brain where he couldn't control no more. Like that demon that was on standby was like, wait for it, and then he was like, tag in.
But they found out too his father like may have had like some mental issues too, so it might have been like some genetic shit going on because his father was doing weird shit with his wife too. Like the guy who killed his wife, his father was actually trying to hit on his wife too at one point. It's that whole family. She should never married into that family. That's where it messed up at.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta catch it early. You don't catch it early, you'll be like,
Wait till he starts busting all them, and you catch it before then, if you can.
Yeah. Ain't trying to catch a case.
Right.
Well, that's all. That's all I got for the gate doorway to hell, which is not really to hell, but you know.
Right. Just humans fucking up.
Clickbait. Got him.
Right. Gotcha.
They're like, oh, we didn't fall for it because it sounds so fake.
That was it.
All right, I gotta use the restroom, so we're gonna take a break.
All
Maybe
right.
5 minutes. All right, be right back, guys. All right, and we're back.
Yes,
right.
sir.
Next story for tonight, Chris, what you got?
Okay. Let's talk about politics because shit got fucking crazy with the Supreme Court, man. To a point where it's gonna start looking apocalyptic for us, man. So I might have some doomer news for you guys. It's gonna be bad. We're gonna try to keep our hope, but man, Supreme Court is off the chain. So for anybody who's not familiar with what's going on with the Supreme Court is heavily leaning towards conservatives, which is like basically Trump's party. Trump basically set up the Supreme Court to the way it is today. Back in 2016, while he ran for president, a lot of people were trying to blow the flag on like, hey, don't vote for Trump or try to vote against Trump because he's going to stack the Supreme Court up. And when he does, a lot of shit's going to be popping off. They're going to roll back a lot of stuff. And Roe v. Wade was one of them already that they rolled back. And so basically in the Supreme Court, you have 9 appointed judges, and Supreme Court is basically like the top cops of the damn country. They are the ones who make or break the laws and whatnot, and they got almost too much power to the point where I think they need to be abolished, or we need to get rid of we need to get rid of it altogether because they're starting to become corrupt now. They're being paid off by billionaires. Billionaire Nazis, in fact, are paying off some Supreme Court members like Clarence Thomas. He's one of the Supreme Court judges. But so for the Republican Party and Democratic Party, the Republican Party has 6 Supreme Court judges. The Republican Party has 3. The Democratic Party has 3 judges. So, yeah, even though last year Biden and his administration was like, yeah, what's her name, Ketanji Brown, she's going to be the first black female Supreme Court justice, yada, yada, yada. I didn't care because this ain't going to change shit. They don't have the numbers to stop the Republican Party from running this country into the ground. And so that's what they started doing. So they actually got rid of the Chevron deference this past couple days. Actually, last week, the Supreme Court got rid of the Chevron deference, which basically is this thing that was started by the Supreme Court in 1984. It basically allows the government to set regulations on corporations and shit. Because if you don't have regulations, they're going to just run wild and do whatever the hell they want. In fact, the Chevron deference is actually towards a lot of other things in this country too, but it deals with having just basically having a regulations on how environmental protection regulations, building regulations, labor regulations, basically all this like this the Chevron deference was basically set up to kind of like, okay, we're gonna set regulations on everything and make sure these companies don't spiral out of control. And well, the Supreme Court just got rid of it, and this is about to hit us hard. Now, mind you, this is gonna be like the whole frog in the boiling water effect. This isn't gonna happen immediately. This is gonna be over time, and everyone's gonna feel it across the board. Everyone in America is gonna feel this shit in one way or another. Because they've been trying to they've been trying to get rid of this shit for the longest, and now this is what the party wants because they think like the people that side with Trump the most, and actually the Republican Party as well, as almost as a whole at times, with this whole thing, they always wanted to say that the government was too big, that like, hey, we need to make the government smaller because the government's in too many people's businesses and yada, yada, yada. But the reason why the government needs to be big at times is because you need to have regulations and rules and laws in place. And now that is gone, all hell's about to break loose. So they're saying that things that are going to be affected. Well, actually, let me read this right quick. It says, because I actually got this, I think, from a New York Times, because New York Times had an article about this shit. And it's saying that it says the Supreme Court's decision on Friday to limit the broad regulatory authority of federal agencies could lead to elimination and weakening of thousands of rules on environment, healthcare, worker protection, food and drug safety, telecommunications, and financial sectors, and more. Basically, everything that makes up this reality in America is about to get flipped on its side. Because the whole thing was, and the reason why the Chevron deference was created was because the Supreme Court, these 9 judges aren't experts on everything. They're not expert on the environment. They're not expert on education. They're not expert on anything. But when it comes down to it, that's why you have scientists and you have all these other things where if it gets too murky for the Supreme Court to decide, then you have to allow scientists and other things like facts and numbers to step in and kind of dictate how things need to go with regulations and whatnot. Well, they're getting rid of all that shit, and the Supreme Court is going to just decide whatever they want. And if they're leaning towards Trump in a lot of ways, they're going to get rid of a lot of shit that he wants to get rid of anyways. And that's the only thing. That's not the only thing the Supreme Court did recently in this past week. That's just the first thing they did was get rid of that. So, like I said, Environmental Protection Agency is going to get wrecked. It says environmental fears that the end of the Chevron doctrine will mean the elimination of hundreds of EPA rules aimed limiting air and water pollution, protecting people from toxic chemicals, and especially tackling climate change. So yeah, they're gonna be like, fuck that. Supreme Court's gonna make anything that's coming down to want to like kind of create protections for us against this stuff. Supreme Court is gonna be like, well, fuck science. We're gonna make the decision. And these people are not experts on this shit at all. Labor agencies, the elimination of Chevron deference could affect workers in a variety of ways. This is important for anybody that has a damn job, making it harder for the government to enact workplace safety regulations and enforce minimum wage and overtime rules. So basically, they're going to get rid of regulations that companies can do whatever they want with their employees. They can run you to the fucking ground if they want, and probably pay you less if they want to, and still work you. Because government was supposed to make a wall to protect us from that shit, and now they're just getting rid of that wall. It says this shift could also rein in protections for workers who publicly challenge policies of their employers. So if you got a complaint and you want to stand your ground and actually hold a protest against your employers or anything like that, or call it bullshit going on at your job, they can fire you too if they want at this point. So that's something they just started. Food and Drug Administration was supposed to protect us from like all types of chemicals that's going in our food. They're going to basically just fucking overrun that shit. And these people aren't experts on what goes in our food. They're not scientists or anything at all, but they're going to make decisions of what's okay and what's good and not to go in our food. Lord, another thing is healthcare. They're going
to do all that. Isn't there already like a system to where they,
Oh, it was. They just got rid of it. They did. That's what they're getting rid of, the system of it.
So how would they control that?
Them.
So we just allow any other
no, and it's nope. That nobody has any say in it. It's like we're the ones that make the decision on what you can eat, how you live.
It's crazy because I think a lot of the food already in the U.S. is already poisoned by our own selves.
Hey, straight up, man. And now this is going to be gone.
In the backyard. Like, they're already poisoning us within the country. And then they're afraid of stuff coming from other countries here. I'm like, I think the bad chemicals are already here.
Right, it's already here, man.
It's other countries where they don't allow like the food here to be shipped over there because they're like, hey, you guys got a lot of chemicals in your food. We don't want that shit in our country.
Right. Now we about to have that shit. Now we ain't gonna have no protections on any type of chemicals because the Supreme Court, like, it is corrupt as all hell because they've shown that they can be bought out. They've even like tried to whistleblow people like Clarence Thomas, who is a Supreme Court member, his perverted ass should never been on the Supreme Court because back in the early 90s, he was sexually harassing. See, there's that thumbs up. I forget her name right now. Anita Hill. He's harassing. I think she was like a secretary of his office, but he would like leave pubic hairs on our fucking Coca-Cola can and shit. This was a fucking freak. And instead of being charged and not being pulled off the Supreme Court nominee, he wants to become a Supreme Court member. So he's like one of the worst of the worst. He's a Supreme Court member that was trying to he was trying to go after black folks for something, but because he's married to a white lady, he had to roll back on because Supreme Court, if they wanted to, they can make like interracial marriages illegal. Like that's how much power the Supreme Court has. They are too fucking powerful. And the fact that was kind of like on the line at one point, I was like, okay, maybe we might need to abolish this. Y'all can't give these people too much power because they can be bought out and they can lean in one direction or another. Their best interest aren't towards the American people. It's not towards the taxpayers, the people that got to live here. Their loyalty lies with corporations and whoever the fuck might be president. Which even then, they loyalty shouldn't even rely to a president. Should rely to the people first and foremost. But this is my opinion how things are going to go to the Supreme Court when it's all said and done. Because this isn't the only thing they did this weekend too. They did two other things that's going to fuck this country over. But I shit you not, this is what's going to happen. It's going to get to a point where people are going to start trying to fucking kill politicians. I'm telling you, I'm just saying it right now. Because they're turning in this direction where how far are you guys going to like kind of like apply this pressure to people before you got somebody in America, everybody got a damn gun. Y'all really going to try to push this country into a point where people are going to start having these guns that you got all over the place. Really, y'all creating a scenario where it doesn't have to be like this. Because they also passed an immunity. They also pushed through like an immunity act for all presidents in the United States. That's another thing the Supreme Court just passed, meaning that any president that's ever been charged with a crime has now been immune. That's like with Richard Nixon, with Watergate, and how he was like spying on the Democratic Party and shit, and he wound up getting like impeached and shit. He's now cleared in the record books as being he's immunity. He's not his record is now cleared. Donald Trump with the January 6th shit. Donald Trump doing all this other stuff. His record is cleared. Basically saying like they did something. This is something the Supreme Court started. If you're a president, you can actually go after anybody you want. You can kill anybody you want. You can do anything you want. You can send SEAL Team 6 after anybody at this point, and you're immune from the law. This is what the Supreme Court started. So now they're making a damn dictatorship. This is the direction we're about to swing in. So, and they're trying to gear up because November's around the corner, elections are coming up, and the ones who are all voting for this are all Donald Trump appointee Supreme Courts judges. So they're trying to swing to where, hey, if Trump wins, he can be able to do whatever the fuck he wants when he gets to the White House. But the thing is, though, it's like, well, what if he doesn't win? Because Biden can still win this. Then what? Then y'all shot yourselves in the foot by giving the president immunity. They're probably going to try to roll it back then. But they're trying to set up to where when Donald Trump gets to the White House, which he said to, he's going to start going after political opponents. If he wanted to fucking drone strike somebody, he could. And it gets what? Immunity. This is crazy. I'm shocked they even did this. That they're going to give a president unlimited power to go after anybody and no type of like regulations or laws or anything in place to stop him from going to jail for making actions. This shit is going to get crazy.
What if like they already had unlimited power? They just didn't be held accountable for it, like all the presidents previous.
Yeah, because it's not like they haven't been doing crazy shit before.
Yeah,
so,
it's just now it's like, all right, now it's on paper now.
Right, and I guess what you can't stop it.
It wasn't on paper. They were doing all this crazy shit, but it never was. Right. Nobody was held accountable.
Right. Now we can do what you want. Now we can do what we want in your face. We ain't gotta lie about it.
Yeah, we're gonna show you how dark it gets because it gets dark.
Right. And so the last thing the Supreme Court pushed through these last week was the criminalization of fucking homeless people. So they're trying to make it illegal to be homeless in America now, and they passed it. What in the hell is going on, man? They're going to make it illegal to where homeless people can't be outside anywhere. If so, they're going to jail. They're going to rack up them jail charges probably because they're going to be repeat offenders. Because where the fuck are you going to go back on the street when you get out? It's going to be a repeat offender. They're going to be sitting in prison for the rest of your damn life. Just filling up prisons and making money for these damn prison corporations. Being a slave and making IKEA furniture and shit for them. Like they're trying to gear up for this shit, man. So, and it was only a matter of time because places like New York, some mayors were like, well, it's illegal to like, because there's like a bagel shop in New York that had would have leftover bagels at the end of the day, and they would give it to the homeless people outside because they didn't want to throw it away. They started making it illegal to give it to homeless people.
Yeah, I think it's illegal for all restaurants to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, well, why not? Because if the state's not going to take care of them, or the government's not going to house these people, then what? Well, I guess
Right.
the government's going to be like, well, we'll house them in a different way. We'll just throw their asses in fucking jail.
It's
Because
messy. The whole thing is messy. It's like they rather throw away all this food away than give it to people that actually need the food.
that need it, man. And so now they're going to
Yeah.
criminalize homeless because, like, you and me, like, and especially with you, like, we've dealt with homeless people, like, in different occupations. I dealt with them when I was doing security for the Fulton County libraries. Man, a lot of people fight. I met a guy that was homeless because of a divorce. And not every there are some people who want to be homeless by choice because they don't want to live on the grid, and I get it because this life is very grindy, and you kind of just want to like, I don't want no part of this shit. It's too much. It's a scam. I get it, and I get it. But some people just fall on hard times too, and being homeless is not always a damn option. And now they're trying to criminalize it to where what? Now you're gonna give these motherfuckers a criminal record for being homeless. Just being homeless isn't like being homeless is more of a a lot of times it's not a choice. It's like shit happens, lose a job, shit goes down, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure homelessness probably jumped up after COVID, after everybody got put out of a damn job. So it's crazy they're gonna criminalize homelessness now like this. Like, what the fuck? I'm thinking like this. It seems like the Supreme Court is like, I don't know who they worship, Cthulhu or some shit. I feel like they worship some kind of evil elder being, some elder lord, elder god or something, and they're trying to like sacrifice as many human lives as they can because they're making all the choices that can get us killed the quickest from every choice they're making right now, and it's very weird.
Yeah.
Did they say like, yeah, we love God and Jesus, but I feel like that's what they say on on TV, but then they go behind the scenes and they like they go to like in a secret room and there's like a goat faced demon with horns and shit statue in the back closet, like
Yeah, the same tattoo that The Rock has on his arm.
yeah, the Brahma bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
like
looks
so
like
this is
a demon goat to me, but
right. Fucking Brahma bull. Yeah, so now they're gonna criminalize homelessness as well too in America.
I guess they going hard to the wall on that stuff, man. They're like, all right, nothing has really changed. Like over all these years, nothing's really changed. We're gonna do a real change now. So
right. Because they were trying to put stuff in place to like, hey, let's do environmental stuff. Let's try to move in the right direction. Because
well, I think a lot has been done. Like with the homeless community, they did so much different things, and nothing's really like hitting the wall. Nothing's working. In every single country, they're all battling like this homeless, issue. And I don't think any country has ever figured it out yet. And
yeah, it's kind of like, what do you do with people who can't be housed? Like, because you gotta.
right,
But America got more money than
issue. And then I think it all comes down to that individual homeless person, because the only way they can get out of that, it's themselves. But it needs to be like more
maybe.
options for them to
get out of it. Yeah,
to do things.
Something.
Yeah, but it still comes down to the individual if they want to help themselves get out the hole. But it needs to be more options for them.
There's effort you got put into it. Yeah, because I remember
For anybody, for doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember in Atlanta a couple years ago. Actually, before I was still living in Atlanta at the time too. When I was watching this on the news, they were trying to build a housing for homeless people there, and they was trying to get it set up and everything. And it's kind of like, okay, it was a program that was gonna be set up like, hey, if you go to this housing area and it's government funded, you're gonna be fed and everything. You have to go looking for a job, and they're gonna check to see if you got a job. You can't stay in here if you just being a freeloader. You got to be productive. Da da da. So they have set up programs to like, hey, this is a homeless shelter. You can stay here. You can be covered. Da da da. It's government funded, but you have to look for a job. But even when they were trying to set it up in Atlanta, the government was like, no, we don't want to do this because all it's going to do is encourage other homeless people. Basically saying like, it's going to encourage people to be homeless, which is fucking stupid because name one person that wants to be like, who has a life right now. I'm talking about lights, TV, food, heat, air in the house that wants to live out on the street. Boy, let me know if you find somebody like that shit that like, oh, because they're going to create this place. It's going to be an incentive to make people lazy to be homeless. Like, what? That don't even make any sense. Like that. Why would I want to be bumped up with other homeless people?
Right. I mean,
I think that's a very hard thing to sell, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's like you would rather make an excuse to not help these people. Like, even let's say if somebody even wanted to give up this life that they live, working a 9 to 5 or whatever, and they want to be homeless. Okay, so what? How many people are actually going to do that? Most don't do that shit. Most people are rats in this race, like myself. We all work this grind, and we gonna pay these bills and do this shit, man. That's how it works, and I
Yeah,
highly doubt most people are going to step out that lane to go be homeless.
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's hard. I don't think anybody has even figured out how to do it properly, even with the amount of
It's
funding
tough
or
though.
whatever.
It is an issue.
And the whole thing, like
But
with
jail,
Atlanta, with the housing thing, I seen them actually built this housing thing like for the homeless people, and I saw it get built like every day going past the train because you can see it from the train, and they
right.
built like this whole housing unit and shit, and all that is happening in Atlanta right now. So I think Atlanta is really doing like really good out here, like as far as like dealing with
Trying
the
to get this
homeless community because it's rough, man. That shit is rough. And they've been
man,
trying to
bro.
figure out for the longest, and they're doing something. So
The only place I
gotta
seen
give them some
crazier
credit for
than
that.
I've never been to New York before, so I'm not sure how New York is. But I think actually when I went to LA, boy, that shit was well homeless people every time you blink, boy, that was a lot under the bridge. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, it was a
Everywhere is
lot.
like a tent city everywhere, bro. Every time I look, wow, LA's on some next level shit. Atlanta's bad, but LA are like on some next level shit.
Yeah, LA is another level. When I was out in New York, I didn't see that much homeless people,
Yeah, they probably shoved their ass
or
outside the
they
city.
were hiding somewhere the whole time I was there.
That's what they do in Denver, man. They push their ass out of existence. They're like, yo, y'all don't see them. We push them
Because it
off the
was
street.
during the winter holidays, so I think because winter out there is big in New York. So I was like,
Yeah, man.
okay, maybe. Because I was like, where's all the homeless people? Because I was comparing it to Atlanta. Atlanta was just filled with homeless people all the time.
Mm.
So I was surprised, but maybe it was just hidden from me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because what they got during the winter? Rockefeller Plaza, ice skating.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, they trying to get them homeless folks up out of there, man. It's hard to make money in the city with homeless people just laying around. So, all right, from a capitalistic standpoint, I see why they're doing it, but is it right? Is it? Man, I don't know. This country got so many fucking problems, man. That's why, like, after today, I'm gonna take a break from the news, man. That Supreme Court shit was exhausting. It was
Yeah,
fuck, dude.
yeah, that's too much, man.
I was like, this country is going in a weird direction where
I think it's been
kinda saw
weird
it
for a
coming.
while now.
yeah, it's hitting a peak weird now, man. And we're gonna see it. It's like these things that the Supreme Court are doing. Like I said, this is like the frog in the boiling water. We ain't gonna feel it yet, but we're gonna see ripple effects of it to where people are gonna start dying from these decisions. And then I hope it doesn't get to this point. I'm hoping the government steps in, be like, okay, we'll get rid of the Supreme Court. And honestly, I think we should take a break from having a president too, man. Let's try 4 years without a president. Real shit, man. Like on some real shit. Like I think we should take a break from having a president at all. Let's actually have like a Congress and other shit, but let's have everything else but a president, and let's see
It's
how we
still
work
gonna
together.
run the same.
And it still might run the same,
Yeah,
but
everything's always happening in the background.
at the same time too, though, it's like it does prevent people and sides of government propping up a president and to make him seem like he's like a god king and shit. I think that might help take out a lot of shit out the equation as well too. But I mean, I don't know. America, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
This is wild.
I don't know.
But that's enough doomer news for that. I didn't even. At first, I was wondering if I even wanted to talk about it, but I was like, this is important news. Everybody needs to hear what's going on to the Supreme Court, especially with work labor, man. Especially with work labor, man. That's a huge thing. I feel like us as a country have been fighting more a lot lately, especially when you work in them warehouse industries, like Amazon. Like, bro, I used to work. I just got done working over at like Family Dollar distribution center. But they will run you into the fucking ground.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, though, they have regulations and stuff in place to protect you. But they're always able to seem to go around the shit and still be able to like abuse your work labor. And now that they're kind of like, okay, this might be on a chopping block for like work labor shit or wages. It's like, oh man, we about to go to some bad days with work stuff if it gets to that point. So, fuck it,
Yeah.
man. Sorry for the bad news, folks, but that's it for that story. My bad. In other news,
you brought the rain.
my bad. Let's get these clouds out the way.
You brought the
Actually-
gray clouds.
Actually, I do have another sad story, but it's crazy. It's more twisted.
But before you do the sad story, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna give you guys a happy story when we get back.
Please.
Be right back, guys. All right, let's talk about the Vatican archives. So there's like a group of people that they said that the Vatican, they hold historical UFO secrets and they're just hiding it from the public, but they have these secret documents that's been left in the Vatican library for a long time now, and they're saying, hey, you guys got to disclose all this information of the UFO information you guys got. Because for those of you who don't know about the Vatican secret archives, I don't even know if it's a secret anymore, but it's like an archives of a whole bunch of books and documents that's like, I don't know how many miles long. It's this whole bookcase, these shelves that's beneath the Vatican, where it's just nothing but information from, from whatever, the beginning of time, whatever. Like they got information on everything. Like Egypt, they got information on the dinosaurs. They got information on all the paranormal activity that happened over, I don't know, thousands of years. Like maybe they have information about the Alexander Library, the one that got burned down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
probably true, man. I feel like the Vatican is like if aliens came to Earth, I always felt like the Vatican would be the capital. Like aliens like, take us to your leader. What's the capital of your Earth? I'm like, Vatican. Like that is the heart, the man-made heart of Earth.
Yeah, that's like I guess the speaker of the Earth.
Right. Yeah, the representative of Earth.
The representative of Earth. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I guess like if you would send somebody to go talk to aliens, I was wondering that too. Like if aliens came down, who would they talk to? Like, would they talk to like who they would speak to? And I'm assuming the Pope.
The Pope. Would be I think the Pope.
The president of Earth.
Damn, would it be the Pope? Huh? I think it would be the Pope.
Because even the president, like, he bends the knee to the Pope, man. Don't nobody really.
Oh, dude, that's real.
Yeah, it's real shit.
They all bend the knee to the Pope.
Everybody, because some people think like, yeah, the president, the strongest man on earth. I was like, people roll out the red carpet everywhere for the Pope. I don't care where you. I'm talking about like babies crying and shit. Like people be crying like over the Pope, like he Michael Jackson.
Yeah, they kissed the ring and shit.
Oh, they all bend the knee down, man.
Yeah, dude, if you kiss the ring, like, you're on the inside.
Right.
I heard the story one time, this guy, he was working, like, in the CIA, right? And then he was about to get access to, like, super, like some secret documents or something about something that's super classified. And they're like, hey, if you want to be in this group, you gotta bend the knee and kiss the ring of the Pope. And this guy, he looked at the Pope, he's like, I'm not doing this. Like I'm not gonna bend the knee and do this. And then, cause this guy worked in CIA, he was like top secret everything, dude. And then after that day where he didn't want to kiss the ring to the Pope, he got canceled from every single job, like everything. Like he got fired from his job, everything, all his files, everything deleted. He couldn't get no job nowhere.
Bank account empty.
Yeah, he got what's the word, like blacked out or some shit. Like he got.
Blacklisted.
He got blacklisted. Yeah, he couldn't work for any job in the government or nowhere. Nobody would hire him. He was like,
"That's wild."
It's like, damn, because I didn't kiss the ring, he lost access to everything.
Hey, look, I believe that, man. We're seeing very similar effects right now here in America, where I ain't gonna speak too much on it, but if you kind of against a certain type of genocide going on, if you against it, man, you will lose your job if you try to call it out, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy right now, man.
Bob.
Believe it.
Bob said, is that the happy story? Yeah, that's the happy story.
Right? This shit's sad too.
This the happy story. So Diana Walsh, Polskin, Arthur, and Professor, she knows that like very challenging like to find these documents like within the Vatican, because the Vatican wouldn't give up these information, but they know for sure that the Vatican they're not hiding this information about UFO documents from a long time ago. It's just they're not giving it to them.
Okay, so then they were never given the paperwork about the UFOs, you think? Or
yeah, they believe like they have documents on all these alien activities for over centuries ago, and the Vatican is not giving them the information.
Right.
Because they're trying to get the information and then publish all this stuff. They're trying to digitize it, send it all out to the internet, and be like, all right, see, the Vatican had information on UFO activity for a long time now, but they were holding on to the information. Because maybe all of this has to come out at a time where, when the public is ready to receive this type of information. Because you remember how they said, like, sometimes people, they can't handle the truth. And there has to be a time It's a time for everything, and I
Like the
think
programming.
and I think like right now might be the perfect time to release everything.
Yeah,
What do you
people
think?
like more. I'm like this. Hell yeah, because there was like this statistic they did some years ago, and it was talking about how many people believe in UFOs, and almost everybody on this planet believes in alien life, and even religious people. So this isn't some type of like fringe shit anymore. We've all accepted the reality of, hey, there's life outside this planet. Me and Melissa earlier was talking about the universe and everything, about how, like everything that exists out there, but like everyone has accepted the fact that there's a possibility that like, and this is more than just like religious folks. 'Cause religious folks used to be the ones that was really like, burn them at the stake, like type of shit. When it comes to people that want to talk about like, the sun and the stars and stuff. And now in this world that we live in, it's like, okay, more people more open minded to it, including religious people. Come on, man, we can handle the truth, man. Please, I think we
Right.
should know, man. We should all know. If y'all got something that's out there, I think we should all know so we can all be kind of prepared in some fashion.
I think as humanity, I think we're all prepared for like an alien drop right now.
I think we're more prepared to kill each other than the aliens.
I think we've
I
been
think
killing each other.
some more.
Yeah.
Kill each other some
But
more.
as far as like getting knowledge of like beings from another planet that's been here on this earth or is walking among us, if they are walking among us like right now, I think this information will probably help them out more than it helps us out, because I think they want to be the one walking freely among us if they already are, where they don't have to hide like their skin color.
Yeah.
Because I think we're getting at that point now.
I mean, yeah, it could be one of the things like a sleeper cell type thing. They got like a walk amongst them because aliens probably live much longer than us, I would assume. Because humans don't live long at all, man. We kind of live like in a blink. I would assume aliens or whatever extraterrestrial life shows up, they probably live a little bit longer than us, but they probably live amongst us for a little bit. If any alien species comes to see us, they would be smart to send somebody down to live amongst us and like, hey, stay down there for a couple of decades. That's not long compared to, you can live 300 years. That's nothing. So stay down there for about 3-4 decades and kind of get a feel for how they, and should we, like, give us intel to let us know, should we communicate with these people? I think our report card would be fucking horrible. Like, if this is a
They're
alien
like,
report card,
stop sending.
nah, it's an F.
Stop it.
Like, get it, no. They're not
Team
ready. Give them
2,
200 years.
stand by. Team 1, we're having a hard time.
Time out.
Hold on. It's rough out here. I'm actually in cuffs right now, and they're communicating telepathically and shit.
It's like, they're probably like, yo, Earth is like a Class S planet.
Yeah.
It's more advanced than it's ever. It's moving at a fast rate. But these people, man, they on society, it's an F. Like, we don't get it,
Class S, super hard. Too hard.
right?
Yeah,
They
it's
got
S
nukes and
tier
shit.
as far as like, hey, how much you want to advance your soul?
All right, tough class.
Yeah, it's a hard class. Yeah. Oh, also, like, they're also trying to get inside the library of the Vatican to get, like, paranormal knowledge that was contained in the mystical library, like, in the Vatican. It's like, hey, you guys got some paranormal knowledge, like, for us? Like, how, I know you guys can tap into the paranormal and do all this stuff. Like, where's all, like, the information, documents that show people actually tapping into the other side? Like, official documents, according to, like, the Vatican. Because they're just not going to write stuff on paper and, archive it unless it was something that actually happened in real life, right?
Right.
Writing something and then typing something on the internet, it's like two different things if you think about it.
Yeah, for real.
Writing is like it's a little more personal.
Right.
More
That's
real.
taking time, man. Penmanship.
Mm-hmm. On this dark, stormy night.
Right. On a dark, stormy night. Right.
Our
Some
Lord Bilbo Baggins. Yeah. Well, yeah, so they said there's like uncertain access. There's no clear timeline for granting access to these century-old X-Files from the Vatican. So the Vatican, they're holding on to this shit tight. They're like, nah,
Look,
we can't give you nothing. We haven't got the green light to give you guys anything that you guys want. Everything in the
Right.
Vatican, all the document remains sealed in the documents until the time is right, I guess.
Right. And they also police exorcisms, man. That by itself was like, oh, that's a lot of power. You can just deem what's an exorcism and what's not. That's like what kind of police shit is that? That's what I'm saying. Like, on a supernatural level, that shows like they even police supernatural incidences as well. That's kind of like general knowledge that they are the authorities of exorcisms. That's just exorcisms that we know. God knows what else they got authority over on a supernatural level. Like, okay, there's a rift and there's a hole opening up in Sedona. We got to send some agents out to go close that shit up. But see, and Bob says the show Evil. Man, look, I keep hearing about the show Evil, and I remember you told me about it a while ago too, how good it was. But I'm hearing like people like speak about it more about Evil.
Maybe you should watch it.
I think I keep hearing the name
a lot.
Evil, man. Yes, I keep hearing it.
Yeah, to me, the show it's not good, but it's not bad. It's in the middle.
Like X-Files, but for like Jesus?
Yeah, it's in the middle. It's like, yeah, I guess it's like X-Files. Yeah, to me, it's an okay show. It's something like you don't have to watch. You're not going to binge watch it. You just watch a couple episodes like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's cool.
Mom says it's good. It's good.
It's okay. To me, it's okay. It's an okay show.
Why is it okay? Like, is this like the cast? What's off?
Some of the stuff is like kind of corny, like for me. But then some of the stuff do hit. Like where they had like one of the priests or something, the black dude, he did like a mushroom trip so he can connect more to God. And I was like, oh shit, this shit's crazy. Yeah, I was like, damn. And then this dude, he gets it off from the streets eating like a whole handful of mushrooms. I was like, oh shit, this theory is crazy. And then like he gets like vision from God and stuff. And then he talks to like another lady who has vision and stuff. And then they ask her questions like, hey, who killed Epstein? And I was like, oh shit. And this was like a few years ago too. Like it was pretty quick. Fresh. Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't think it was that way.
She's like, she was like, he didn't kill himself. I was like, oh shit. And they said it's all on a TV show. Yeah, it's crazy. And then also like another thing that connected with me with that show, like the mom, she would have sleep paralysis. And she would see like the demon come and try to hurt her and shit. And then she realized, oh shit, it's not real. But the demon's like cutting her or whatever he's doing. So like that part, like it got to me too.
Is there like a main
good show? Like but the thing like for you, it might be a okay show.
Okay, yeah, because we kind of got the same like, because we liked.
It's good. It's not a bad show. It's good.
Right, yeah.
But to me, I wouldn't say like it's good. Like not no Breaking Bad good.
All right. You know what the movie you should watch? This ain't got nothing to do with supernatural shit. I just watched this last night. It's on Tubi. Tubi TV is becoming a fucking fan favorite of mine right now. What? I'm finding good ass movies on it. It's this movie called Baby Assassins. It's this Japanese movie about these two like teenage girls that are roommates, but they're both assassins.
What?
It's funny, but the fighting, dude, it's like raid level shit. It's so good. It's called Baby Assassins. It's on Tubi TV. Japanese movie.
Tubi TV.
Dubs.
There's no dubs. All subs, TV man. For that?
Huh?
It's like an app?
Yeah, Tubi TV. Yeah, it's an app. Yeah, it's like a streaming service. Like it seems like, I ain't gonna lie, man. And I've had Tubi for like some years now. But it seems like it's marketed towards like black folks, like Pluto TV. That's another thing that's marketed towards black folks. It's like type, but it's like Tubi TV is one of the things like they got really awful movies, but then they have movies on there. You're like, man, I haven't seen this movie since 99, 96, 97. Like I watched like I watched movies like The Faculty where the kids went to the school and it's oh yeah, everybody's a fucking alien. I was like, yo, I used to love this movie back in the day. They got some gems on there, man. They got some good shit. Some great shit, man. Sometimes it says. Get on 100. They taking it away sometime this month.
Ooh, tell me you watched that series. I stopped at like
what's that?
Tell me you watched that series.
I stopped at like third season. I didn't realize it kept going, man. It kept going a long time.
100. This series is just too much information in that series, man. I think they know something.
Yeah, I remember you told me like the further like the series went on, I was like, oh, this shit way different from like.
It's deep. It's super deep. It's like, what the hell are they talking about? But I was like, something like in my gut is saying like, oh shit, like something is real here.
Right. I saw the part where the parents knew what really happened on Earth and shit, and they sent the kids down there. And I saw like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then for some reason I was like, okay, I'll finish the next season when I get a chance. And I just never continued it.
Yeah, Bob said, but it's relevant to us now. Yeah, I
Really?
think
How we
there's like a
fucking
lot
frame
of
up?
stuff that's happening now. Like as far as like one thing where they're saying about how if we can live long enough, right, we can actually get our conscious and then put it on like on on a hard drive and get it
Ooh.
uploaded somewhere else.
So okay,
And that was like
so
one of the things like in the series they were talking about
so
that.
so do you? Okay, oh, that's interesting. So like, the longer you live, the more memory you create, and you just need enough memory to fill up like some data or some shit to like kind of like make it a.
Well, the thing like on the show, I'm just gonna spoil it a little bit,
Yeah.
but they had like these elders, right, where they save all their data like on like a memory card drive, right? And
Mhm.
then like every time like there was like the chosen one, the person that they picked to, I guess, carry on the legacy, they would
Right.
put their chip like in their spine. Their spine would
Right.
attach to that chip, and they would get all the knowledge from all the past elders and everything that they did, right? So you would know everything that they
Yo,
did, and this is what made you like a great leader because you knew everything that all the
all
elders
that
did
knowledge.
from past centuries. You got all the knowledge, and now you carry all the information, and now you claim the throne for like the king or queen or whoever you are for that
What?
tribe, and you have all the knowledge, and you can lead your tribe to like whatever places.
Yes. Well,
It's
I was
like
about to
yeah, it's
say
like
like
altered
altered
carbon.
carbon, like
Yeah,
a stack. Yeah.
it's like altered carbon, like times 100. No pun intended.
Ooh.
In
What if
that
that's what?
series, because the
What
series
if? What if?
is super deep.
What if all that shit like iCloud is like the prototype to like
I think so, dude. I think like
eventually you kind of like store human memory, man. Because iCloud is starting to get to a point. I'm like, bro, this shit is like I'm linked to this shit for life. Where I don't even want to leave Apple. Like my shit is tied to this like this, bro.
and that's just like surface level
Wow.
stuff. Like they have like all the surface level, like all our information, but I think they also have data with how we think and stuff and how we
Right.
because they have like all our like what we do in the day, like what stuff like we look on social media, what stuff we look on YouTube.
Amazon,
Like
bro.
they know
Oh
us
man,
personally, so that
you
data
got something here.
I think is also stored in the cloud.
Dude, it's like, oh, we know that you took a screenshot of an item that you was looking for on Amazon earlier, so you don't forget. So we're gonna like what? It's like they
Yeah, then
know.
yeah, they know you, and so
The thing is
they
too.
know you personally.
Thing is too. We gave up all these secrets to them. We all clicked yes on the user agreement. Like we all clicked their yes on that shit.
Because they made it so fun.
They're saying AirPods are tracking you. I believe it, man. Because I can. You can. If it makes sense. Because if you can track your AirPods with your phone, if you got I know the Apple Pods or whatever the fuck they call it, the iPods.
Yeah.
If you can track them on your phone, why can't anyone else track it?
Dude, everything is tracking us. It doesn't
Like,
matter
I
what
lost
it
my
is.
shit. I lost my AirPods in Vegas. They still in Vegas. They dead. The batteries died out there. That was the last time they was tracked was in Vegas. So I don't know. So they.
Well, everything is
I have
tracking.
traction
Even
before,
like your
sure.
damn thermostat is tracking you. Your Nest thermostat is tracking you. Your phone, earpods, everything. Your watch.
Bob says I brainwave straight up, man. 'Cause
Even
how many times?
our routers with the Wi-Fi, it can
Right.
detect like, hey, who's in the room in this because it scans the whole everything like through like Wi-Fi waves,
So we should have knew that
Batman
shit. The jig
style.
was up. We should have known they were trying to spy on us back when Xbox was like, "Hey, when you buy Xbox, you need to have this camera." And then somebody whistleblow like, "Yo, they trying to spy on you." That's what we should have known. We should have knew something was up then. Back when
Basically,
was
and
it
now like all these
360?
smart TVs that have cameras already attached in them.
Know when you leave the room, know when to cut off, know when to come back on when you in. Hey, these smart
Mhm.
TVs are too smart.
I gotta take a quick leak real quick. All right, and we're back.
Yes, sir.
Right, that's all I got for
Uh,
the Vatican. Chris, you got another
I'm
one?
trying to decide between two stories. It's about ants applying. Scientists don't realize ants actually. You have like doctor ants. The ants that actually help
Doctor
heal.
ants?
We got ants that are doctors. That's basically that's just like the fast way I'm explaining it. And then I have another story about. It's a sad story, but it's a story about is destiny true? Are we destined for some things in
Oh,
life?
do that one. I like that one.
Let's do this. All right, this is a sad story, but
Whoa.
it kind of makes you want to trust your own gut in life. Because remember last week we were talking about like your gut feeling.
Right.
This is that motherfucking story right here, man. I got chills when I was reading this the other day. It says delivery. So this is a pizza delivery driver in Detroit
Pizza.
that struck and killed this woman, like hit her with his car, killed her.
Damn.
And he kept,
Damn.
Yeah, he struck and killed her, and he wound up keeping it moving. Sad shit, man. So it says like Delia Dinwiddie, 56, was killed in the exact same intersection her mother was killed by a vehicle decades earlier. So Delia Dinwiddie, she lived out in this town or whatever, in this area, and her mother was killed like something like 44 years ago in the same intersection. She was there and witnessed it. She witnessed her mother get killed in a car accident. And so she actually wound up dying in the same car accident 44 years later at the same spot. Now, when they interviewed her family members, actually they interviewed her husband. The video of the husband, heartbreaking, man. This dude is crying on camera. He's like, I hope he rots in hell for what he did. Because the pizza driver was just straight up just hit this woman and kept it moving, man. Didn't stop, didn't check on her. Which, I mean, now he's looking at jail time. He could have maybe saved himself some more if he didn't just run off after hitting some lady. And she was, and mind you, the intersection was only like, it wasn't like that far from our house, but so she was walking down the street, going through the same intersection, crossed the street, and goddamn pizza driver hit her, kept it going. And her family members, her husband, like I said, the husband was heartbroken. And some of the children came out saying like, yeah, when she, she's always talking about how she'd have nightmares about how she would get killed at this intersection, or how she just had this gut feeling that she should never be around the area because she never wanted to go out like that because she saw her mother being killed in the same fashion, get hit by a car. And so this is the same thing happened with this lady, man. Got hit by a car by a fucking pizza dude. And it says, what was it? It says the husband actually wound up saying that he could have at least stopped, turned around and looked. He kept going like she was nothing. I just seen her eyes opening and they were putting her in the EMS. That's the last time I ever saw her. So she had got hit, was originally survived. She died on the scene. So when I was putting her in the back of the ambulance, that's when the last time we saw his wife. Like she was blinking and she wasn't responsive, but she was blinking and then she wound up dying. I'm assuming like at the hospital or on her way to the hospital. Mm-hmm. But yeah, her gut was always telling her not to go there, not to go anywhere near that intersection. I'm not sure what she was on her way to or what the case may have been, but she was walking past her, got killed in that same fashion as her mother 44 years later. So man, it makes you wonder, man, like, are we destined for some things? Or it's just like kind of like, hey, really trust your gut feeling when you're in a situation where the end might be inevitable, like, especially if you're trying to, like, if you feel something like, yo, I feel like I'm about to check out, I kind of go along with it, man. I mean, then again, we don't know what's on the other side, but if you try to stick around longer, follow your gut.
So, like, if you feel like you're about to die, you're saying just ride the wave?
No, not ride the wave and go with it, but kind of like, trust your gut, because she always had this fear of being near, like getting killed in that intersection, and she walked towards it, I guess, trying to make it somewhere. That's kind of like the things. It's like, damn, it's like if you always had that gut feeling in your stomach, maybe you should always follow through with it and not been in that intersection. Because her mother was killed in that same intersection 44 years prior, and she witnessed it, and it's always been like a fear of hers. And then she died in that same spot where her mother was killed too, same exact way, car accident too, get hit by a car. So it's like, damn, dude, like, is this how, like, is this destiny, or should we just follow our gut, man? Like, how do you defy the reality of what things go down?
I think it might be destiny, but on top of that, it might be like somebody above doing like lazy story mode writing, where they wrote the same story like for the daughter or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I can see it.
That would be weird, right? Like, it's just lazy story writing.
It's like, man, okay, I'm writing too many stories right now. I'm going to cut this one short. Let me just wrap this up, not like in a cool way. Let's just wrap this up like.
It's like, I've been working a 12-hour shift. Let's give her the same storyline as her mother.
Let's do it. Let's make it crazy.
What did Bob say?
Let me see. Bob says, but then again, you're holding yourself back from going somewhere or have a greater path. That was my thing. I thank you, Bob, for saying that, because I had this issue too for many years with my high ass anxiety. A lot of times I want to be like a home fly and I want to explore things or want to take chances because I was kind of like, well, what if I leave the house and die type shit. Not on that level.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I would have missed a whole lot of podcast episodes. But it wasn't on that level. But sometimes it's kind of like, when you do put yourself in a box with fear, you do miss out on a lot of things. And I have friends out there right now who put themselves in a situation where they kind of regret, like, well, I should take this chance, or I should do this later on in my life, or did this, I'm sorry, later on, but like earlier in my life, and now here I am, I'm looking down the barrel of 40, and fuck, I missed out on a lot of shit. I'm like,
Right.
well, and to me, even though I've always wanted to live that type of life, I've always had this itch in the back of my neck was like, I can't sit here. That's why I joined the military, traveled the world. I moved back to Atlanta for a little bit, chilled, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm in love. I can't keep this going if I stay here. I gotta like try to form a new life with someone who I love, and there's a chance you gotta willing to take. And it was I'd be lying if I wasn't scared if I didn't take this chance. I was scared shitless, but I had to trust myself and who I'm doing this with, and it's one of the things is like, yeah, you hold yourself back. It does keep you from going down a greater path, and maybe you're holding you back, you're from reaching your greater self, So it's a sad story what happened with her. She probably had fears for the longest of like having to walk down that street in the first place. I'm pretty sure when she walked that intersection, that was the last thing that probably crossed her mind anyway. But it's like, if you're always going to hold yourself in that type of fear, and that fear box,
Right.
man, you're making yourself your prisoner in your own damn world.
It's like that one story. I don't know if it's like a song, but it's like a guy, like he was afraid to fly like his whole life, right? And
Yeah,
then, like,
La Bamba, Ricky Valens.
is it?
The Bamba La Bamba. That's what I thought of.
Maybe it's him, but he was afraid to fly like his whole life. Then right when he was like, all right, I'm gonna take this chance now. I have money and stuff. Like I'm gonna just fly. And then he dies in a plane crash.
Yeah, he died like I think it was like Ricky Valens. He died with like Buddy Holly and shit. Like they all died in a plane crash.
Is it that story?
I think so. I remember, dude, that movie always stuck out to me in the head because I didn't know who La Bamba was. I knew this. I mean, La Bamba was Ricky Valens. I think his name was. I knew the song, but I never knew the story behind the man. But I saw the movie back when I was a kid on TBS or some shit like the Superstation. I saw it on TBS.
It might be the same thing.
Yeah, but yeah, he died on a plane crash. It was like he had a fear of flying his whole life, and then one time he flew, trying to make it to like
That
I think a
one
concert.
time.
That one time, man, and then dude took him out.
Took him out that one time. What are the odds of that, right?
Man, right? See, and even though I don't like flying, I never had like a fear of flying. Like I can get on a plane. Flying is more uncomfortable to me than it is a fear. I think.
Yeah,
I don't like flying.
I never had a fear of flying. The only thing with flying is uncomfortable for me.
It's not comfortable, man. I don't like.
It's
gets
not
hot.
comfortable at all.
Planes get hot as shit.
I hate it.
Yeah, planes get hot as hell.
Yeah, I think the longest I can go is like 4 hours to where I was like, I can't do it. My back hurts. I can't.
No, right?
Like,
man.
I would need to fly a business class or something. Let me lay down.
Somebody farting.
Lay down like this. Well, okay, I could do a 24-hour flight like this.
Right?
But there's no way I could just sit up like that for that long. It's so painful, dude.
Man, like earlier this year, I went on a flight and fucking, I got a seat next to the bathroom, man. I smelled shit the whole flight. Shit and was it toilet cakes? Like the little boom things. Right, that's all I smelled the whole flight, man. That shit was awful.
You got personal with everybody.
Dude, I was like, I know what everybody eats.
You know their bowel movements and shit.
So, hey, man, you ate at Chili's right before you got on the plane, didn't you?
Yeah,
Ruby Tuesdays.
Chipotle chicken al pastor bowl.
Hey, man, do you have California pizza?
With a dash of cilantro?
Right.
Like, no,
You put cilantro in
basils. Like, oh, shit.
Right.
All right, okay.
Well, you smell like what's that damn cheese? The powdered cheese.
Parmesan.
Just like Parmesan cheese in there. Jesus.
You smell like some generic great value Parmesan cheese.
Right.
You know? The
Yeah,
real
but,
one smells pretty similar to that.
Huh?
The real Parmesan cheese. You grate it yourself.
Oh yeah, the real cheese, man. Have you ever like? Okay, so you probably would have been in Cali at the time, but in elementary school, did you ever like churn butter? Did you ever like what's it called day? In Georgia, they call it like a Renaissance Day or some shit. I can't remember. Like Pioneer Day. I think it's called Pioneer Day. Did you ever had that in Cali? Like elementary school? All right, so like they used to like churn butter. You would take like sticks of like butter and you would like it was cool as shit. We would like churn it in like in a machine and make it to like a cream and we put it on crackers and eat it. I mean, there was other stuff we had to do for Pioneer Day, but when I was going through it, I got put on the thing that I wanted the most because I wanted to eat. I was like, yo, I want to try this cream butter stuff. Yeah, they put me in this machine where like you put like this big ass stick of butter, man, and it doesn't taste like. And the thing is though, it doesn't taste like the butter that you would normally get. It's not as salty. It's more like less salty, more creamy, I guess. You just
Yeah,
put it in the machine and you churn that shit. Turn it to like
it's
almost like
way
a milk
better,
like
right?
something.
It has to be way better.
I was wondering that too. Like, is it healthier that way? Because it's not as
I think
salty.
so because we're not adding all that preservatives and stuff.
Mind you, this was in the back in the '90s too, so food may have been healthier back then. I mean,
I
I
think
don't know.
food in the
But,
'90s tasted way better than how it tasted now. Way better.
dude, you ever taste like Sunny Delight, man? It tastes like fucking syrup, dude.
You know, I
That shit
never
is
liked Sunny Delight. My mom used
I
to buy
get
it all
why
the time.
people.
Every time she bought it, I couldn't drink it. I was like, why is she buying the bad orange juice?
Right. I used to like Sunny Delight a lot, but as I got older, I started to hate it because I was because I stopped drinking it for some point. And I think because my adult taste buds kicked in, but by the time I actually did have Sunny Delight, I was like, hey, this kind of same thing with Hawaiian Punch. Same thing. I was like, this don't taste the same as it was when I was a kid. This is fake shit. This is not real
Yeah,
juice.
my kid taste bud, it knew like Sunny Delight was bad.
See, yeah, you was
Like my
advanced.
stomach didn't like it. I was like, ew, this is nasty, dude.
Yeah, it's all thick, man. I heard
But
it's like
then,
I heard it's like up to the same level as like soda, man. Sunny Delight, like as far as like sugar, you must drink soda.
yeah, this shit's bad. Bob says we went on a field trip to the missions that were in the San Andreas fault line in California. See, I never took a trip to that.
Yeah.
But we did took a trip like to the it's like a trail where people get kidnapped in Cali.
What?
Yeah, we took a trip there. And then we had
Wait,
we had to look for dinosaur bones and shit. Like they had a whole truck came in and had like a bunch of like we gotta dig for like fossils and stuff. This is the field trip like in Cali. Like it's like
y'all
next
did that?
level. Yeah, we were digging for fossils and shit.
Dude, I always wanted to do that, man. I saw that when I was a kid on like Reading Rainbow one time. I was like, yo, can we do that in Georgia? But Georgia ain't got like dinosaur bones like LA do. Like it's
Yeah,
California got a lot of
were
dinosaurs.
we were like in a truck digging for fossils and shit. It was cool.
I'm San Jose.
And they even took us to the damn the Nazi. It was like they had beds from like the German Holocaust, and they even had the victims like speak out to us, and it had a whole museum about it. I was like, holy shit, this lady was in the Holocaust, and she's speaking to us, and I was like a child, and I was like, holy shit, and she was super old. I'm pretty sure she's dead now, but I saw somebody like from the Holocaust speaking. It was
Oh,
crazy.
she was actually like somebody from it.
From the
Oh, yeah,
Holocaust,
she's
yeah.
gone. Yeah. Oh man. I was thinking
Yeah.
he was like I was thinking there was like an actor pretending like I was there. Here's my
No,
number.
it
And like
was a
fake
real
number written on
lady.
him. Oh, it was a real lady.
It was a real lady. We all sat down.
Wow.
We sit with cross leg style. We just listened to her story. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is something big that's happening right now, but I can't grasp the concept yet. Until I got older, I was like, holy shit.
Oh shit.
We
she
were
was
speaking to like a Holocaust, like a survivor and shit.
Yeah, imagine walking up out of there, man. What?
Yeah, and I
No,
was
watch
just
those
like
people
this,
get
just
killed.
sitting. I was like, okay, let's see some cool stuff.
Let me see your arm.
Like, let's see some cool
Oh,
stuff. But then, like, it took like 10 years later to where I was like, holy shit.
man.
I spoke to
I met
somebody
a real
that was actually there, touched their hand, everything. It was crazy,
There's
dude.
somebody that survived it, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
she was super old, dude. She reminded me of the lady from like the Titanic movie where she's like, oh. It was like that. That's how old she was.
Her?
Yeah, it was like that.
The big ass blue diamond that she threw in the water. I would have threw her over. I'm like, man, all this research we put in to get this damn necklace for you.
Yeah. What
I'm
else
gonna
you
go
got?
with Jack.
You got
I
anything
low key
else?
kind of like that movie. I ain't gonna lie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
You got anything else for the night?
Mm-mm.
I think we're good.
I think that's it. We clocked in our time. Oh yeah, we good.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Are we doing next Tuesday or Saturday? How are we doing this?
I got a festival to go to this Saturday, the 6th. So yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday? All right, we're back on that Tuesday schedule, guys.
Tuesday. My life is very random right now, guys. I'm working like 2 jobs, and
That's
I'm about to go to school. So now I'm about to maybe stop at one of these jobs because I gotta make a choice. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to find my greater self,
Holy
y'all.
shit.
Just work with me for a second, please. Promise you.
That is wild. All right, guys. So next Tuesday, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Hell
But we
yeah.
already got like 2 episodes for you guys, like in 1 week.
Yeah, we got
We haven't even like did a clip for the other episode, so like we have.
I caught that today when you sent. When I woke up today, I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, I didn't even fucking do the edit yet, man. Like,
It's all
god
good.
damn.
It's all good.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna finish this shit.
Yeah, like we got a lot of content for you guys. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll catch everybody next week on Tuesday. Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.